One of the challenges in establishing CSU Engineering was ensuring it was a program that Australia really needed. Australia already has a number of engineering schools, each with a different set of specialties, and so coming up with a program that was distinct and different and added something that Australia needs was important to us. What's been really powerful in this process was discovering that it's not just a school that Australia needs, but it's a school that the world needs, and that we're doing something that isn't filling just a small regional gap, but one that's going to have a global impact.
I've been taken on as an independent consultant by MIT to conduct this study looking at the future of engineering education. It's an MIT commissioned study looking at horizon scanning really of where engineering education will go in the future.
MIT is the premier engineering school in the world, and so it's a delight for us to find ourselves engaging with them in this process. It's one thing to know that you're doing well against the benchmarks that you've set for yourself, and so to have the world's #1 engineering school declare that what we're doing is global best practice, that it is amongst the best in the world at training new engineers, that's very powerful for us and very rewarding for our vision.
CSU Engineering was the only Australian institution that came out in the top 10, and I think it was the only institution in Australia that came out in the top 15.
We have set ourselves the ambitious goal of being a globally significant program, a program that could and would change the world. And so for us to have the #1 engineering school in the world say that we are world leading is a very powerful validation of our vision and our dream.
So it wasn't that CSU Engineering was picked out of all Australian institutions, it was picked out of all institutions worldwide. This is so very different than practice, not just across Australia, but across the world. It really was identified on its own merits.
One of the challenges in establishing CSU Engineering was coming up with a new program that Australia needed. It's no good simply being a copy of already established programs.
The way of teaching that has been designed here is so very different than elsewhere in the world, and there are a lot of challenges to implementing that kind of program. So I think really understanding what some of those challenges are, and I think it's something that a lot of people around the world will be fascinated to learn about.
What is really powerful out of this study is the validation that we're doing the right thing. Myself and my colleagues took great personal risks to come here and join a program that was non-traditional, that was pushing the frontiers and was doing things that no other program has done. And so to have the #1 engineering school in the world say we're doing the right things, that this is the future of engineering education, is a great return on that risk that we've taken. It shows us that we have chosen correctly and makes what we're doing here all the more worthwhile.